everyone, so looks like a Legendary and Sony Studio signed multi-year global theatrical distribution pact. When I read this article from Deadline, yes, Legendary Studio, they were looking for their partnering studio to release their movie, I guess, worldwide. It looks like they found, and this distributed studio will be none other than Sony Picture. Yes, when I read this article, I'm like, whoa. Legendary Studio and Warner, there used to be this huge partners studio deal in Hollywood, and Legendary Studios, they make the movie, but Warner Brother Studio, they distribute movie for them, like movies like Godzilla vs. Kong, Dune. Last year we heard Legendary Studio was getting in a war with Warner Brother Studio because they released Godzilla vs. Kong on HBO Max and theater same time. Also, they did same thing with Dune. Personally, I think their decision, Warner Brothers' decision to put this movie HBO Max and theater same time, did cost them hundreds of $millions. Let's be honest here. They lost a lot of money because of course, Legendary Studio. They were really upset with them, but looks like they already found their replacement. So this article from the Deadline is explaining to us that looks like Warner Brothers Studio is replaced by Sony Studio with the Legendary Studio. Because Legendary Studio, they make movies. Like they do own all of these titles like Godzilla vs. Kong, Dune, Enola Holmes is one of Legendary Studio. They own many other characters, and all these characters they make movie of it, but the distributor studio used to be Warner Brothers, but looks like now Sony Sony scooped in and got this deal. So I didn't hear anything about that Sony studio was looking for this deal. I heard Apple studio was bidding. I heard Netflix was bidding also, but I also heard Amazon was bidding. I didn't know Sony Studio was also bidding, but looks like they did own this bidding war, obviously, because they went with them. So they are signing all this deal with Sony Studio. Looks like they will be distribute their movie from here on. Like it's a multi-year deal they have signed, and looks like Dune Part 2 will be coming out of the Warner Brothers Studio, and so is a Monsterverse. That is, I find interesting. I guess somehow they were able to keep those because Tesla probably like, whoa, I need to keep this Monsterverse, the money making, and Dune. Although they're only gonna, I guess they're only gonna be distributing only Dune Part 2. What about Dune Part 3? I don't know what is happening. It's really frustrating. Then Dune movie, they're making one movie at a time. I loved first movie. Now we have to wait 3 years to see the second one. And the third one to see, we have to wait 3 more years. It's ridiculous. Although the first movie made $400 million because of Warner Brothers. Otherwise, Dune movie could have done really well. Even $400 million making during the pandemic. And Godzilla vs. Kong could have made $1 billion if it came right now, I feel like. Because overall, that movie, it is very entertaining. Worth seeing in theater and they release in, Yeah, all this fallout between this studio. I never thought Sony will scoop in and get this deal. Very interesting what will happen next. And that was my thought on this. Let me know in the comment. What do you think about this news? If you enjoyed about this video, don't forget to share my other videos on other topics. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.